Alright, status update. So I've got I reworked the frame, made it so that it matched all of the proper angles and planes under here, all three of them. And everything's looking pretty good. I've still got to do some work to the front rail because I think it's peeking through in a couple of spots, but nothing terrible. I just need to address that a little bit. So let me hide this body. Okay, so this is what you end up with. Turn on trace outline so it's easier to see. Okay, so the way I addressed it was I changed to a 4-inch cross member, 2x4, and 4-inch frame rails. Then I just did a 3-inch up the sides, 3x2, and then 1x3 here. So I think that's going to work. And up in here, it got, where it goes around the trunk tub, I ended up just chamfering back those frame rails a little bit. And then on that third plane, rather than do another bend in this rail, I just clipped the top of it a little bit because it was just such a short distance. So you turn the body back on, you can see underneath everything fits pretty good, and I have at least 3/4 to a 1/2 inch of clearance everywhere. Wish those mounts had come out a little bit better, but it's easy enough. I'll just literally just tack these brackets in with everything in place, so that will make those more true. Yeah, that's basically what I had to do to make everything fit. I think I have enough information now. I'm gonna order all the steel. Like right in here, you can see the space I gave myself between the body and frame, so that should be plenty. So that was quite nice. Then I went over to this model, and again started looking at how everything fits with the rear end and the gas tank. Gas tank's no problem at all. A narrowed gas tank from Tanks Inc. fits like a glove in here. And I have a really nice area to shoot my exhaust right out through here. So that'll work out slick. I'm not worried about that at all. But if I look at a lot of this, the other thing that's really apparent is this is a 10-inch tire. I could easily get 11 or 12 inches tire under this thing with this frame designed the way it is. So that's exciting. I can actually, if I have enough confidence in this, I could literally model the rim, model the tire, and understand exactly what's going to fit in here. But as it stands right now, I can put a lot more tire in it than that. I've got at least 2 inches before I have any issues going out towards the fender well. So yeah, this is working out pretty well. Then I went back to, let me hide this again. So I started putting in the trailing arms. I don't have the exact trailing arm lengths yet. I will get those soon when those pieces turn up, hopefully this week. Then I can model up exactly what these mounts look like and where they're going to go. Right now I just threw in some trailing arms based on stuff that I've seen online and best guess at this point. I did model up a good sway bar in the back. I think that's a reasonable approach to that. I would have liked to get him out just a little bit further, but I'm out about as far as I dare go right now with the coilovers in place. But you can see my field of travel here is probably from about here down to here. So that's ride height roughly, given the length of the coilover. So, by the time I get up in a little higher, I'm up in here. No clearance issues. And that's the other nice thing about the body. If I turn the body back on, I know right away if I have any problems. The top of the shock's obviously not attached, but if I have any problems, something will start to poke up through the body. So if it was to ever get that high, we'd rip a hole in space and time. But you can see the axle tubes right up into the frame, so that's not even a reasonable thing. Although there's almost clearance for the tire. So I'm feeling pretty good about the tire and the tire location. I could probably, it's swinging on an arc, right? So at ride height, it's very well centered, and it's tangential to the arch here, not the tail. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I just got to, figure out what the limits are and move all of that along. So, yeah, you can see right here my trailing arms where I have the model right now are sticking out through the body just a little bit, so I'd have to correct that. Anyway, that's about where I'm at right now. Again, I've got many more things to deal with here. Hide that body again. I think I want to get my sway bar up a little higher, maybe even a little bit forward. I want it just about level at ride height, so I could stand to go up a little bit more. Anyway, and then I still have to put in the pattern bar. I haven't done any of that yet, but I will probably get to that next. But I'm liking it so far. I mean, I've got a really nice area to come through this saddle under here and right out with the exhaust. So, when it comes time to build the custom exhaust, that should be quite easy. So anyway, feeling it. Everything's looking pretty good right now. I think once I get a little further along, I'll be ready to order steel tomorrow. Now that I know all my sizes and lengths, I can get this on order. Then I've got to cut some templates for the plasma cutter so that to make these bends, I'll just plasma cut the templates, and we'll get into that later. But yeah, I've just got to measure all my angles, go in and check all my angles, make sure I have a template for each one, and we go from there. So I'll bring you back when I have some. So I have modeled up a front subframe based on nothing. I just saw some pictures online of the Heights front snout, and did a rough model based on that, and just to see how it would tie in this area. So I kind of like it. I did have to clock this down about a half a degree, but it's virtually nothing. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to build this whole rear section first, get that bolted in the car, bolt this in the car, get it all leveled and squared up, then put these 4 pieces in while it's in the car, then drop the whole frame out, and then weld everything up permanently. But again, I don't really have this front frame section is just a mock-up. It's the basic shape that I'm going to use, but I have not, it's got no live dimensions to it other than the spacing of the holes, which I happen to have. But yeah, I like the way it's coming together. I think this is going to be a good strong connection right here, and then driving this leg into that joint at that height should work out pretty nice as well. So yeah, that's basically what I've got for an update right now. The subframe says it's ready to ship, so it should see that sometime this week, hopefully. And once I have that and the 4-link kit for the rear, for the trailing arms and shock mounts, I should be able to model up more of this and make sure everything's going to fit right. But so far, so good. Very happy with it. We'll see what happens. This was just a quick update. I'll bring you back. It's snowing like crazy here today, so I've got to go clean out the driveway and everything else. So that's about it. Yeah, we got a little snow today.